That's the beauty of this.
It's really whatever.
So, when it comes to TV shows, the one thing that I'm starting to think of now is The Flash. Have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen The Flash yet. I hear good things, but I haven't seen it yet.
See, I don't really know good things because, like, The Flash, it was okay. I mean, the pilot episode was okay, and like, I don't know. There's just some things about it. Maybe it's just because I never really liked The Flash. I don't know what you think about some characters, but it's just like The Flash has never been that interesting.
Yeah, he's kind of not my first go-to superhero. Kind of like Aquaman. Let's face it, Aquaman, really.
Well, but in the New 52, Aquaman is like awesome though.
Is he the one with like the beard and the hook for the hand? Because that was the coolest Aquaman.
That's the coolest Aquaman.
Okay, because the rest are like Mermaid Man from SpongeBob. Okay,
no,
he's not cool. Other than the pirate hook.
The one with the golden mullet and the hook for the hand is like known as the worst.
No, not the golden mullet one. The old man one that looks like Poseidon with his like hair and his beard, and then he's got he has white hair.
All right, so
anyways,
so my story with this is that the Aquaman video game based on the horrible Aquaman. This is from X-Play, by the way. I don't know if you've ever watched G4, but the game was so horrible that they actually made what was called the Golden Mullet Awards, which they awarded to horrible video games.
Oh, and it's based off of the Hook one?
It's definitely based off the Hook one. But anywho, like, Aquaman now is like so much stronger than he was back then. He's like almost comparative to like Superman, only under the sea now.
Oh.
There was like, I think I was seeing it in like one of the comics. He actually like just lifts up a cruise liner and just throws it. It's ridiculous.
That's interesting. Well, speaking of Superman, I saw a commercial. It's an old commercial, but I was looking up some stuff for one of my other classes, and they did a Superman and Jerry Seinfeld commercial for American Express, but he had the voice of the guy that plays Krunk from Emperor's New Groove.
Oh.
So that was a really weird voice for me to hear coming out of Superman's mouth. And he goes, I left my luggage over there. Let me just go get it. And they're like, he's in the airport security or whatever. But it's just funny, like, how commercialized superheroes get. Like, Jerry Seinfeld and Superman, who would have put that with American Express?
Honestly.
The least used credit card ever.
And I don't know about the least used. Maybe. Quite possibly.
Like, because Visa
I
and...
should really turn that off before we start.
Oh, geez.
Sorry. Anyway. So we were talking about American Express and the Superman thing.
Okay, so, like, I feel like that was a good move for them since people don't... That's not, like, their go-to. Usually people are like Visa, MasterCard. Those are the most widely accepted ones, whereas American Express, some places take it, some places don't. Like, when I was a designer for the Monument Company, we didn't take American Express, and we always had to tell, like, the really old ladies that would bring in Amex, and that was all they had. We were like, I'm sorry, we don't do American Express. We'll do Visa, MasterCard. But that was a good move on American Express's part, because who doesn't know Superman? Cheney!
Who leaves voicemails these days, honestly? Okay, so it's a good move on American Express's part because they're getting known
through Superman, right? And then also there's the voice of the guy that plays Kronk, and little kids are like, "Oh, I know that guy. That's Kronk."
Well,
and
I don't
Superman.
know. I don't know if little kids actually like get their parents to go out and get credit cards.
Well, no, little kids just irritate their parents. They're like, "I don't know what he was selling, but it's Superman and it was cool. Get it."
I guess that's the mentality. I remember when I was younger, I just always wanted the cool toys. I never got the cool toys.
Yeah.
Especially the superhero toys.
All I ever got was like the Happy Meal toys, you know. And that's the other thing is like McDonald's has Happy Meal toys for girls, but they're always like the really lame toys. It's like this little plastic doll with like a fake sprig of hair and that you can't do anything with, whereas boys get like cars and like stuff that explodes and comes back together and like cool stuff. So I always wanted to get the boy toys, but the McDonald's people were like, "You're a girl. Let's give you a girl toy." I'm like, "I don't want a My Little Pony. I don't like them."
I don't remember when it was, but it was like a while back. They actually had like the little X-Men figurines, and those are like my favorite. You had to get. It was from X-Men Evolution. I don't know if you've seen that show. It was like.
I didn't. There was a McDonald's one though. They did some cool ones. Now that you mention that, it was like early '90s. I think I was like 5, so you were like in the womb still. But they had a cool like a Storm one because they did X-Men for girls and X-Men for guys. So they took like the girl ones for the girl toys. Yeah. think about that McDonald's and do that again. But they had the ones for the girls and the ones for the guys. So they had like the Beast and Cyclops and Wolverine, and you'd like flip a button and his claws would come out
Yeah.
of his hands. That's all he did, and his arms would be all stiff.
I remember like the times where like you just went to McDonald's waiting to get the toy, and you always had to ask for one different because
Yes.
I would always get the same toy, and I'd be like, no, I already got that one. Give me a different one.
Or you had like the one that you wanted. Like with the X-Men ones, I wanted the Storm one because you could push this little button on her back and the lightning symbol would light up on her little jumpsuit thing. That's all she did, but it was cool. So like I got who was it? Oh, I got Jubilee, and I hated her as a kid. I was like, that is the worst
Jubilee
superpower.
is so awesome.
She shoots fireworks. That's her only skill. It's not exciting.
I wish I could shoot fireworks.
Okay, well, at any rate, I went back up and I gave them the Jubilee action figure, and I was like, can I please have Storm? Because Jubilee is really lame. I don't want this one. And they're like, no, you have to pay $1 if you want a different toy. And I was like, Mom, can I have $1? I just want Storm. I don't want this one. And then they went through all the things, and they gave me Jean Grey. And all that toy did was move arms and legs because Jean Grey has mental power. So that was worse than Jubilee.
How do you express somebody who has mental powers in a toy?
It's just, she was just hot in her little leather suit thing that she wears and had like the hands that would go up and down. It was like so disappointing. But anyways, so X-Men. What about X-Men?
What about X-Men? I mean,
there's allegedly a new Nightcrawler movie, which we found the trailer to.
you've seen the trailer?
Yeah, not excited. Jake Gyllenhaal plays Nightcrawler, and I don't think that's right.
I saw the same trailer, I think, but I wasn't sure if that was the Nightcrawler they were referring to.
I don't know. I mean, because he's blue and he does the poof
He is
thing.
blue? Okay.
I have to rewatch this, but
yeah.
I hope it's not, because
This might be a fan-made trailer, I feel
No, it was on TV.
Really?
Yeah, it came out on TV. So.
I guess I'm out of the loop.
Yeah.
I don't really watch TV very much.
I only watch it when I'm trying to watch Gotham on Monday nights, and I missed a good chunk of Gotham because I had to go work.
Yeah, usually everything I watch is like online, Netflix and stuff right now. So.
Yeah, lately it's been online, but I was watching, because Monday nights I try and catch it when I don't have to work.
Yeah.
But they do like superhero movie trailer stuff in relation to like when you're watching shows like that. I guess that's the ads are more geared towards that. It's that and cars all the time. Cars. But yeah, if it is, I'm not thrilled about the whole Jake Gyllenhaal being Nightcrawler thing. That's a really bad decision.
I'm not enthused about Jake Gyllenhaal being in anything, really.
It's true.
Whenever I hear Jake Gyllenhaal movies coming out, I'm
like, oh, no, I'm not gonna see that. I'll wait till it comes out on free streaming online, because I'm not gonna pay
Jake
for
Gyllenhaal, what has he done? He's done like Donnie Darko. That was a while
Yeah.
back, but I like that movie.
That one's okay. It's not my favorite. I get really bored. I just
It's one of those ones you have to watch like 2 or 3 times, because at first you're like, I don't get this at all, and then like all of a sudden it's like, oh, it makes sense.
When I watched it the first time, I got it, and I was like, oh, I like this movie. And the more I watched it, the less and less I like the movie.
Well,
so I've had the opposite.
It's definitely at least a 2 or 3 time watch. Don't watch it more than 3 times.
Yeah, I think I watched it like 5 times, and I'm like, I give this a half a star. I can't. And I watched the sequel, and the sequel was way worse.
Really?
Yeah, it was like S. Darko about his little sister
Oh,
Sam.
yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that now.
it was
It's
not good.
I didn't really watch
They were
that
kind of
first.
trying to get sort of butterfly effect with it, and it was just a bad decision.
I love Butterfly
Butterfly
Effect, though.
effect is good, but
Yeah.
the way they tried to do it, it wasn't working for that movie. It just was not
When
working.
when did the sequel come out? Do you know?
Oh.
Was it before Butterfly Effect? Is what I meant.
No, it was after.
It was after Butterfly
Yeah.
Effect. Wow.
Because they did the sequel in like 2010 or 11, I think, and Butterfly Effect has been out
Oh.
since, 2000 or something? I don't know.
Interesting. I had no idea.
And they did a sequel to Butterfly Effect, which was also not as good as the first one.
Well, I haven't watched the sequel yet. I actually went to the store and bought Butterfly Effect because I really like Butterfly Effect. It comes in a pack with Butterfly Effect too, I guess.
Oh,
Only for $7 Blu-ray.
well,
so I was
that's
like,
not bad.
I was like, I would pay $7 for the first one anyway.
Yeah.
So
I still have the VHS tape of Butterfly Effect.
VHS. I haven't seen VHS in forever.
Oh my gosh, my roommate and I, on our little shelf, there's like the DVDs, and we have all the DVD cases, and then there's like the left side is all our VHS, and then I have one of those little plastic laminate cases of VHS underneath. So I've got like Dracula, Dead and Loving It, Robin Hood, Men in Tights.
Oh, Men in Tights. Oh,
Men in
love
Tights
that
is
movie.
so good. I love their little jam. We're men in tights.
tights.
Tights. Yes.
And
Good.
I just remember, like, for VHS, we had like we had all the old Disney movies on VHS, so like all the classics like Lion King and Aladdin, and like I've always been meaning, because we have like they have like those DVD recorder things where you actually like plug it into the VHS
Oh,
and they like
yeah.
record it onto
Convert it.
DVD for you, and I was been meaning to go back and do that, and I haven't been around to do it, but we have like so many movies on VHS still. Small Soldiers, we still have that on VHS,
That was
and
a
I
good
loved that when
movie.
I was young.
That was a good movie. It's very violent for a.
Yeah, it's pretty surprising. I mean,
Yeah.
like, what I remember is Kirsten Dunst like walks into the room and then gets attacked by all the little
yeah.
Barbies.
That's right. Well, that was pretty intense for a children's movie. Although there are some children's movies, I've been going back looking at things I watched as a child. Never do that. Don't do it. It's a bad decision. You realize the horrible parenting decisions your parents made when they let you watch stuff.
Yeah, my parents are very lenient on stuff too. So like a lot of the movies I watched were like when I was like in second grade, and I'll be like, "Oh, guys, have you seen like Major League?" was a big one for me. I was like, "Have you seen Major League?" And they were like, "No, our parents don't let us watch rated R movies." I was like, "It's rated R? What are you talking about?"
I know, because, like, well, I've told this story before, but when I was in third grade, The Faculty came out, which is the alien body snatcher movie, and, like, the kids do cocaine to get the alien out of their head or whatever. But it has Josh Hartnett and a bunch of other people in it. And my parents took me to the theater in Altus, Oklahoma, where we lived, and they dropped me off. They paid for my ticket, handed me $5, and said, "Go get a pickle and go sit down." So like they left me there by myself to go watch this rated R movie, and I did not leave my seat the entire time. I even had to like go to the bathroom, and I could not leave my seat. I was like, "No, I can't leave. I just want to sit here." And I had my little pickle in one hand, my pop in the other, and I just sat there watching the movie the whole time. And I liked the movie, but that is not a movie a third grader should watch.
Yeah, I don't know when it came out. I was still pretty young. I think like Freddy vs. Jason. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I remember going to see that with my parents. I don't know how I got them to convince. I don't know how I convinced them to take me to that movie.
Yeah.
'Cause it's just like, Mom, Dad,
slasher movie.
will you take me to go see Freddy vs. Jason? And in their mind, they're probably like, this is gonna be so stupid.
Yeah.
Why are we watching this? But in my mind, I was just like, oh, it's gonna be so awesome.
Yeah. And I watched Blade when it came out. Also not a movie for an elementary school age
Yeah,
kid.
I remember that when that first came out too. I was really
Yeah.
young at the time, but I remember the first scene is just so memorable when the blood.
Yeah, the blood comes out of the
Yeah.
sprinklers, and then the vampires are all,
Yeah,
and then
I
that
remember
poor
seeing
guy's
that
like,
when
what
I was
did I
young.
get myself into?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I was just like, ninja sword, awesome.
Yeah.
He's cutting people. It was like so weird because like it was just like that blood is like the only gore that's in like the entire movie, really.
Yeah.
Because then like every time he
Oh.
kills a vampire, they like kind of just like
Explode.
yeah.
Except for the weird fat thing that he like UV lighted to death and it
Oh,
bursted into flames.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah, I remember that. That was bad. That movie, I feel like, scarred me like that much as a
And
kid.
then wasn't there like the other lady that like kind of like went fat and like into like a blood blister and then like
Oh, it was the original vampire guy when they didn't put the sunscreen on him, and Frost had sunscreen on him, and they
Oh,
took him
yeah.
out to the mountain thing or whatever, and the sun rose, and he like exploded.
Frost. That's such a cool name. I don't know.
I know.
Why.